You might think it's just a window, but for your cat, it's a stage, a television, and a throne, all rolled into one. Now imagine giving them front-row access to that world in a way that's cozy, secure, and incredibly enriching. That's what a well-set-up window perch can do, and if you get it right, it might just become your cat's favorite spot in the entire house. So let's talk about what it really takes to build the perfect window perch for your cat. Not just something you slap on a windowsill, but a place that's thoughtfully designed to keep them safe, happy, and engaged. First off, why are cats so obsessed with windows? The answer is instinct. Cats are natural hunters and observers, even if your indoor cat hasn't hunted anything more threatening than a dust bunny. The urge to track, stalk, and monitor movement is still baked into their DNA. When they sit by the window, they're watching birds, bugs, people, cars, maybe even other animals like squirrels or neighborhood dogs. That kind of visual stimulation is like brain fuel. It keeps their minds sharp and helps burn off some of that restless energy. And if you live in a smaller apartment or a home without a lot of space to roam, a good window perch becomes even more important. But not all window perches are created equal. So how do you know what your cat needs? Let's start with location. You want a window that gets a decent amount of activity, whether that's foot traffic, trees with birds, or just sunlight moving through during the day. If the window faces a brick wall or a boring alley, your cat may not be interested for long. Ideally, pick a window where your cat already tends to hang out. If they like a certain spot, that's your clue. You're not trying to reinvent their habits, you're enhancing them. Now, let's talk about height. Cats feel safer when they're up high. It gives them a sense of control, a way to watch everything without being watched themselves. So if you can, elevate the perch. That might mean placing it on a second-floor window, using a tall piece of furniture beneath it, or choosing a window where they can look down on the world. Just make sure it's accessible, especially if your cat is older or has mobility issues. You don't want them jumping dangerously or pulling themselves up in awkward ways. Next, stability. This is one of the most overlooked things when people set up a perch. If it wobbles, slides, or feels unsteady, your cat will avoid it. Would you sit on a chair that tips every time you shift your weight? Exactly. Make sure whatever you're using, whether it's a suction cup mounted perch, a shelf, or a DIY build, is rock solid. Suction cup models should be rated for more than your cat's weight. Double-check the window is clean before attaching them. If you're using a shelf, anchor it into the wall studs, not just drywall. If you're building something custom, test it yourself. Sit on it, wiggle it, see if it can take a little abuse. Now comes comfort. Cats won't stay long in a place that isn't cozy. Add a soft blanket, a cushioned mat, or even a fleece-lined bed. You know your cat's preferences. Some like firm surfaces, others want to sink into a pile of fluff. If your window gets a lot of sun, choose a fabric that won't get too hot or cause overheating. And if your cat sheds a lot, pick something washable. One overlooked aspect is temperature. Windows can be drafty in the winter and scorching in the summer. If your perch is directly against glass, make sure it's insulated. You can use a layer of foam beneath the fabric, or add thermal padding to keep it more consistent. In hotter months, open the window slightly. Just make sure it's secured with a screen so your cat can't push through. You'd be surprised how many accidents happen when cats get too curious. Let's talk enrichment. A window perch doesn't just have to be a place to sit. You can add layers of interest around it. Hang a bird feeder outside if your window faces a yard or garden. Install a motion-activated toy that flutters or chirps when movement is detected. Even placing potted plants nearby, cat-safe ones like catnip, spider plants, or wheatgrass, can make the area feel alive. Some people even stick up removable window clings or decals to stimulate their cat's focus and tracking instincts. And lighting matters too. Cats love sunspots. If your chosen window catches morning or afternoon sun, that's a bonus. But make sure there's always an option to escape the light. Give your cat the ability to step away from the perch without having to jump far or find another cool-down zone nearby. Sometimes, just a bit of shade is the difference between a 10-minute visit and a 2-hour nap. You might also want to consider how your cat gets to the perch. Some cats can make vertical leaps like ninjas, but others need help. Add a ramp or place a piece of furniture like a low dresser or sturdy chair as a step-up. Make it part of a mini climbing structure if you're up for it. Think of it like a cat's jungle gym. Every step should feel like part of the journey. Now let's talk maintenance. Don't set it and forget it. Cats shed, they sneeze, they sometimes bring up hairballs. That cozy perch will need regular cleaning. Make sure the fabric is washable or at least easy to vacuum. Wipe down the surrounding area occasionally and inspect any hardware or supports for signs of wear. You want this perch to last a long time and for your cat to trust it. And if you live with more than one cat, things get a little more complex. You may need multiple perches or staggered viewing platforms to avoid squabbles. Cats are territorial. If they don't like sharing, you don't want them fighting for the only sunny seat in the house. A final touch? Make it personal. Place a toy nearby. Sprinkle a little catnip on the blanket. Add something that smells like you, maybe an old t-shirt. Cats are comforted by familiar scents, especially when they're trying out a new space. So when you think about creating the perfect window perch, think beyond just functionality. You're not just giving your cat a place to sit. You're giving them stimulation, safety, warmth, height, comfort, and a sense of their own space in a world that's mostly yours. When you do it right, you'll see it. That moment when your cat curls up, stares outside with that slow blinking peace, and settles in like they've claimed the throne. And if you're still wondering whether it's worth the time or effort, just wait until you see your cat spend hours in that spot. Calm, entertained, and completely in their element. It's one of the simplest ways to make their indoor world feel bigger, richer, and more fulfilling. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you found this helpful and you care about keeping your cat mentally stimulated and emotionally happy, don't forget to subscribe. We've got plenty more cat tips, tricks, and deeper advice that'll help you be the cat parent your furry friend deserves.